order of speaking? Yes. I'm going to let everybody come down for a minute. Oh, sorry.
Come on. You guys. No, I want to though.
Thank you all for coming. We have a country in crisis. A recent poll showed Americans' optimism about this country's direction over the next year has plummeted 20 points just since May. This should surprise no one in America. Every time Americans go to the checkout at the grocery store or gas station, they're paying more. Every time they turn on the local or national news, they're seeing crime continue to surge. Every time they get updates about our southern border, they're seeing reports about thousands of migrants that are illegally entering our country every single day and not being tested for COVID and then being moved throughout the nation. And every time the CDC releases new guidance, not only does it contradict information they've already released, but it punishes Americans who've already done everything they were asked to do. They were told to be vaccinated. They wouldn't have to wear a mask. Think about what the CDC did just this week. They forced vaccinated Americans to wear masks because of a study in India about a vaccine that's not even in America that has not been peer-reviewed. The CDC has become a political arm of the administration. It wants to control every element of our life. What's interesting, we stand out here in front of the Capitol, by the chambers of the House, but as you look across on the other steps is the Senate. I'm not quite sure where the CDC got, but somewhere in the middle of that dome, the science changes. If you're a Capitol Police officer, you got orders that you work at some parts during the day on the House side and some parts on the Senate. If a vaccinated staffer comes across in the House side without a mask, you are ordered to arrest them, but not on the Senate. This is not the America we know. This is not Pelosi's house, this is the people's house.
Amen to that.
The study of the political CDC won't even put out the study from India, but they base this. And in their guidelines, they say only in hot spots, we're 85% vaccinated. If you are vaccinated and you get the variant, there's 0.003% you'd go to the hospital. There's a greater chance you got hit by lightning. But some reason Pelosi thinks a storm is coming. Are they using this new report because school districts are soon to have to open back up? Yep. We believe in science, and we want a speaker that will take the time to understand the science instead of just calling people names. Meanwhile, we have a president in the White House and Democrats in Congress that are completely oblivious to the frustration the American people are feeling at this moment. Their message to the American worker is actually, you will have to deal with higher costs for a while because we want to spend trillions more of your money. We have a Democrat-created inflation we haven't seen in decades. We have gas prices that haven't been this high since the last time Biden was in office. We have borders that are open, are numbers that we've never seen before. People coming across with COVID and being shipped by your taxpayers' money throughout this nation, and a government telling vaccinated Americans to wear a mask. We have children, millions of them, who've been out of school for more than a year. Businesses that were shut down, directed by the government. And for months they were told to get the vaccine and they could go back to work, back to normal, back to school. On schools, recent studies showed, on average, students in grades 1 through 6 were about 4 months behind in reading and 5 months behind in math. On the economy, the U.S. economy grew 6.5% versus the 8.4% that we were expected. They've had enough, and we hear you. We have had enough as well.
Amen.
We make this pledge to you. We will not allow the CDC to be political. We will base decisions on science, and we will fight for the American people. The goal is simple. Back to work, back to school, back to health, and back to normal. If they could take the nation's capital and in one building tell you the science is different on one side to the other, they could do the same throughout the nation.
Yep, and they will.
The Republican Congress will not allow this to happen. We'll work to fight to stop the Democrats' created inflation. We'll work to make America energy independent again so the price of gas is lower. Remember what inflation is, a tax on every single American. And we will make sure the next century is the American century. With that, I want to bring up our whip, Steve Scalise.